yesterday on The View, Joe Biden said she was with me every step of the way. And yet she's trying to separate herself, saying that she's the changed candidate. Joe Biden isn't doing her any favors.
No, she's not just saying that she's the change candidate. The American public thinks that. So in the latest set of polling, she's 9-10 points up on who represents change. And we know from the debate that her most effective line was, "I am not Joe Biden." So obviously they didn't conference about what he was going to say there. I do think it gives her foreign policy bona fides that she needs to step into this role. But, you know, if you want to say she said holistically 3 times within 40 seconds, sure, that did happen. But if people were watching the interview, they also heard that she's going to give tax cuts to 100 million people, that you're going to get a $6,000 child tax credit, that she's going to build 3 million new housing units, that she's not going to, quote, apologize for going after corporations, that you can actually raise the corporate tax rate. And we heard from Donald Trump on a range of issues, which did include the border, but also that Nancy Pelosi should be prosecuted for January 6th. Hunter Biden's laptop always makes an appearance. Ukraine is gone. And then my favorite, praising Operation Wetback. So I don't see how someone who isn't already politically dug in and knows who they're going to vote is going to watch someone who maybe repeats a word or two and someone who was talking about Operation Wetback and not know who they want to choose for this election or who they think would be more competent and ready for the job. And I should note on that, she was up 20 points on who has the mental fitness and competency to be able to do this job. And him rambling about everything that darts into his mind does not mean that he is capable of doing this job. It means that he can stand there and hog attention for 55 minutes or whatever it was.
Jessica, a majority of the country wants mass deportation. That's not controversial. And it's a vast majority of the country. You say that she wants tax cuts for the middle class. She's not proposing tax cuts. She's just proposing keeping the Trump tax cuts for the middle class. No one's going to get an additional tax cut under Kamala Harris. It just stays the same for those people. She says she wants to build homes. How's she going to do that? She built, what, 8 car charging stations? $7 trillion for 8 car charging stations. This woman can't build anything. The guy spent his whole life building something. I'd rather go with this guy. She says dreams, ambitions, opportunity, aspirations. These are the words that Obama's people told her to say, because she can't talk about her record. She can't talk in specifics about what she's going to do. She doesn't really know what she's going to do. She's just a basic woman from California who just ran through the machine all the way to the top. And now I feel bad for her. She's not ready for this. She's not ready for the job she has. She's not ready for the job she wants. We're not ready for her. She's not doing well. These interviews are going really poorly. She was asked a specific question about how are we going to make housing more affordable? And she says she's going to give money to state and local governments and it's going to be holistic. What does that mean? She's going to build yoga studios, Jessica? Healing crystals?
You love yoga.
Ayahuasca studios? What does that mean? She's going to give money to state and local governments in a holistic way for transportation needs and it's going to help housing. She doesn't have a grasp on anything. She didn't even know Biden kept Trump's tariffs on China. She says inflation's a crisis and then blame Trump. She says the border is a crisis and then blame Trump. She said the border was fine 3 years ago. She said the border was fine for 3 years and now it's a crisis. She can't blame Trump for her border crisis. She let 20 million people into the country. And the worst line of the whole thing, Jessica, she said the American dream is dead. She's in power now. She said the American dream is dead.
Look, consumer confidence is down.
It's up.
No, it's down. It's down. September, check your stats. And what changed? It was up 6 months in a row. She became the nominee. Also, the public sees what's happening, which is that she's not just the Democrat candidate. She's being pushed as the next president by the media, the government, Hollywood, the deep state, all the usual suspects. That is making the American public very pessimistic because they see that they may not have the choice that they want. She is so dismal and the election has become close because so much effort is being put on her behalf. Democrats survive on ill-defined terms. So, fair share. Can you define it? No. It's a political subjective phrase to disguise theft. Change. Do you want change? Yes. Do you know what change? There's good change and there's bad change. Right now, we're living in bad change. Illegal immigration, crime, cashless bail, that's change, but it's bad change. So when someone says she's the change candidate, it's absolutely meaningless. Just like holistic. That was a rhetorical safe word. She was saying it so she could make Stephanie stop hurting her.
All right.
Wait, I'm not done.
Okay.
Excuse me. But I want to compare this to Trump. Trump does talk a lot. There's no question about that. But within everything he was talking about was deeds. He was talking about deeds. People are voting for Trump because of deeds. Those who are supporting Harris are doing so for words. The problem is she can't even put effort into those words. She's no Obama. She's oh brother. Rule was serving up softballs, and it was like Harris wanted T-ball. And I understand that you may not like Trump's answers, but at least he respects you enough to answer them. Yeah. When I listen to her, I see somebody that is so ambivalent that she doesn't respect the people enough to answer the questions. I've never seen somebody so uncomfortable and irritable trying to express joy and hope. She reminds me of the HR coordinator who's finding 7 different ways to tell you that you're fired. And then she feels bad that she has to do it. I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you. But it's like, it's kind of, I'm with you. I feel sad when I hear it. And if I were the American public, I would be really worried that you're going to get something that you didn't vote for. All right.